Today it's my pleasure to present the Plus People Awards for Winter of 2010. These awards were created to honor those who give an extra effort, who excel at what they do, and who help make UNC Health Care a caring, productive, and efficient place. The people chosen to win this quarter's Plus People Awards exemplify their commitment to caring in everything they do. Our first recipient is Michelle Brant. A member of the decision support team, Michelle is known throughout her department for her high standard of quality in her duties as a business analyst. She is an outstanding report writer, and her understanding of the data produces efficient results and meaningful outcomes. Her organization and attention to detail deem her an invaluable asset and team member. Her colleagues often look to Michelle as the department expert when they have questions and challenges with various reporting tools. A prime example of commitment to caring, she routinely responds to customer requests in a courteous and respectful way and continues to exceed expectations by beating deadlines and anticipating follow-up questions. Thank you, Michelle, for being a role model to others at UNC Health Care. The next recipient isn't with us, but we want to acknowledge Kristen Fugate. Kristen was nominated to both the people and the service pillars under Commitment to Caring. No matter how large or small the event she's coordinating in her role as the supervisor of food and nutrition services, the result is a high-quality and on-time meal. She has catered to the needs of the Magnet Surveyor site visit, delivered cakes to the night staff this winter, and helped with the December hospital reception, to name a few. In all instances, no detail was overlooked. Kristen is a supportive and helpful team player and an indispensable asset to the UNCH team. Kristen, we applaud your dedication to the healthcare system and its mission, and let's all acknowledge Kristen when we speak. The next recipient is Sante Bouilly. In the year and a half that Sante has been a quality coordinator for performance improvement, she has made quite a difference in everyday operations. She demonstrates creativity daily in her duties, managing the department needs, coordinating recruitment activities of new hires, and managing the Quality at Work websites, which she has created herself. And it is safe to say that the success of this year's Quality Expo, 30% larger than in previous years, can largely be attributed to Sante's strong planning and leadership abilities. On top of all this, she executes her duties with a smile on her face and a kind word for everyone she meets. Thank you, Sante, for being a shining example to the rest of us. Our next recipient is Lee Moose. Lee stands out in her role as imaging specialist and team leader among the ACC radiology team because of her dedication to her coworkers and duties, as well as her contagious enthusiasm. She has graciously volunteered to be an active member in the Career Ladder Committee and also oversees the department's shadowing program, which mentors students interested in a radiology career path. After Lee presented the work of the Career Ladder Committee to upper management, it was immediately implemented in her own department. Way to go, Lee, for demonstrating the people, service, and quality pillars of commitment to caring. Next is Gail Cunningham. A UNUS data coordinator in transplant administration, Gail is a model of courtesy and respect to both internal and external customers and her coworkers. She maintains a professional, calm, courteous approach to each situation she encounters. Regarding her commitment to quality, Gail continually reaches out to outside agencies, such as UNUS, to ensure compliance. Her positive attitude and teamwork approach are a great addition to the department, and she always goes the extra mile and volunteers to take on new responsibilities and help team members. Gail, we thank you for all that you do. Next is Kristen Cross-Wando. I don't believe Kristen is with us, but when you see her, please acknowledge her. Kristen exemplifies the people pillar of commitment to caring by continually exceeding expectations and always being a team player in her work as billing service supervisor at UNC P&A. She consistently offers a warm welcome to new team members and takes them under her wing to help them acclimate to their new work environments. Flexibility is another valuable strength of Kristen's, as she welcomes new situations and job responsibilities without hesitation. She also demonstrates her caring attitude in her supervisor duties and is known throughout the department for being fair and sincere and keeping an open ear for listening. Thank you, Kristen, for creating such a positive work environment. Recipient is Debra McNeil. Debbie stands out in her role as a certified nurse 2 in labor and delivery for her ability to connect with her patients and their families. Her warm and friendly demeanor and her ability to identify and meet patient needs have earned her acknowledgement on multiple occasions by her peers, physicians, and patients themselves. Always open to the spiritual and cultural practices of her patients, Debbie was recently able to connect with a patient who had first refused the advice of a medical team to undergo surgery, and was able to turn the outcome into a positive one by thinking quickly on her feet and going the extra mile to explore the individual patient's values. Thank you, Debbie, for your contributions. Our next recipient is Megan Moran. Megan is a clinical nurse 3 in the ISCU and continually demonstrates excellence in the people pillar. She is a role model to her team members, and they look to her guidance for clinical best practice and procedural questions. She has been instrumental in the successful orientation of more than 10 RNs in the past year, all the while tailoring each orientation to meet the individual's needs. Megan is also actively involved in the Skin Wound Resource Team, NPI Committee, and the unit-based Acuity Plus monitoring system. When it comes to patient care, her patients and families report that Megan pays close attention to all the small details that make them feel they are her #1 priority. It is not uncommon for Megan to be recognized during leadership rounds by patients and families for these efforts, often with a high five. Way to go, Megan. Our next recipient is Tanja Scotton. Tanja has always been willing to jump in whenever and wherever she is needed as a clinical support technician on 8-bed tower, and previously in the ADU. She is a great asset both at the patient bedside as well as working behind the desk. Tanja stays busy, and when her work slows down, she volunteers herself to other units regardless of the service. She is a comfort to her patients and is also recognized frequently on rounds and in Press Ganey surveys. No matter what role she is filling, Tanja has shown she is conscious of finances, safety, and always patient-focused. Thanks, Tanja, for a job well done. The next recipient is Peggy Grove. Peggy was nominated in this case for her work under the service pillar of commitment to caring as a certified nursing assistant 2 on 5 Anderson. Her caring attitude is evident across her face and in her daily actions at work. She listens carefully to her patients at the bedside while critically assessing the situation and determining their needs often before they have had a chance to communicate them. An active member of the NA committee of her unit, Peggy develops action plans that improve the patient experience. She is dedicated to putting patient comfort and safety above all else. Thank you, Peggy, for making our hospital a better place. Our next recipient is Sabrina Pagliara. A Spanish interpreter for the Interpretive Services Department, Sabrina has also stepped up to be the translation coordinator, a role that often has her volunteering to work late and on weekends to meet urgent deadlines. According to the director who nominated her, Sabrina equals service. Under her leadership, Interpretive Services has translated over 580 documents this year, a service that would cost more than $55,000 if outsourced. Her commitment to personnel and professional growth is evident in the courses and conferences she attends to improve her skills as both an interpreter and translator. She also takes the initiative to research the latest industry software and literature and provides helpful tips to her team on a weekly basis. Always with a smile and a sense of humor, Sabrina is a true asset to the UNC Health Care team. Thank you. Our next recipient is Greg Griffin. In his role as a clinical perfusionist at UNC for the last 14 and a half years, Greg is recognized for his broad knowledge base and exceptional preparation. He's responsible for operating the heart-lung machine during open-heart surgery, but also takes on additional roles within the department, making sure necessary supplies and materials are always on hand while maintaining awareness of how this affects the budget. Chris will be impressed. He works closely with manufacturers to constantly increase efficiency and improve patient care without incurring additional expense. Greg seamlessly accepts the lead when the department manager is absent, possessing the skill set and experience to do so. Greg, your commitment to UNCH is greatly appreciated.